Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Lifeline for Daily Living. Yes, this is the place where you can find the answers to your mental health, relationship, and family questions. I'm your host, Jim Hewitt. Glad you've tuned in today. I think you're going to find today's topic very interesting, so I hope you'll stay tuned because we'll be right back. All right. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Lifeline for Daily Living. So glad that you've joined me again today. We have been looking at several things regarding Christmas. We've been looking at things like, loneliness during the holidays. We've been looking at depression in the holidays, divorce, children in the holidays, stress in the holidays. We've been looking at a lot of things regarding the holidays. And I want to kind of talk about one more thing regarding the holidays, and that is, how do you get through the holidays with a special needs child? How do you do that? How do you get by the holidays, or how do you get through the holidays with a special needs child? Now, when I'm talking about special needs child, I'm talking about a child who may have ADHD, they may have something on the autism spectrum, they might have Down syndrome. A lot of things that could be kind of umbrellaed under what's called special needs. And so I want to talk about the holidays with these very special people that have special needs. With all of the hurry and the bustle and the hustle that goes on with the holidays, how do these little people with special needs, how can we help them to have a wonderful holiday? Well, I want to give you some tips today on how to deal with the holidays and special needs kids. Actually, I want to give you some tips that I think will help a great deal and go a long way to helping you with your special needs child. Tip number one is to create your own narrative, to create your own story. When you think about special needs children, they are very, very sensitive to stimuli overload. There's all kinds of things going on, right? There's bright lights, there's difference in schedules, there's all kinds of things going on. Going here, going there, planning this, planning that, baking, cooking, all the stuff that goes along with the holidays. So one of the best things you can do is to prepare your child for all of the stuff that's coming. Christmas isn't far away. And so what's that day going to look like? Are you going to travel to Grandma and Grandpa's? Are you going to have Christmas at your house? Are you going to be traveling out of state? What time are you going to get up? What time are you going to eat meals? All of that stuff. And just talk to your special needs child about that. Because the more prepared they are and they have an idea about what's going on, what's going to happen, then the better they're going to be able to cope with that, and they won't be on sensory overload. Okay? So create your own narrative, create your own story with your children. Sit down and just have a nice conversation with them about it, the exciting day coming up and what that's going to look like, and what we're going to do and who we're going to see and how we're going to get from here to there, and so on and so forth. And I think you'll find that your children will get through that a lot better. So create your own narrative, create your own story. Tip number two is to coach your family. Now, your family, your immediate family, husband or spouse, other kids, other siblings, they live with your special needs child day in and day out, and so they're kind of used to all of that. but your extended family, grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, cousins, all of that kind of stuff, they're not around them all day every day. Okay, and so they're not used to what a meltdown looks like. When they get on, when your child gets on sensory overload, right? They could very easily have a meltdown. Well, what does that look like? And so you can prepare your family, the extended family, for maybe what to look for, in your child. For example, if your child cries because Aunt Susie wants to give him a big old bear hug, you might want to clue Aunt Susie in. Maybe that's not what ought to happen. Kind of ease into it. keep hugs rather simple, because remember, they're on sensory overload. They've got a full day, they've had a full week, coming and going and shopping and lights and all the kind of stuff that goes along with that. And so they tend to be on sensory overload. Now, we refer to explosions as meltdowns, right? With special needs kids, meltdowns. Okay, so what does a meltdown look like? Each child, it's a different thing, a different kind of meltdown with each child. It's unique to each child. So what does that look like? Well, you can then prepare your family, again, the extended family, for what that meltdown looks like. And so you don't want to let your child get fully involved in the meltdown. You want to kind of curb it at the very beginning. And so when they get on sensory overload, your child, when they get on sensory overload and they start acting a certain way, or they start getting a little hyper and a little irritable, that kind of thing, it may be that you just have to remove yourself from that situation and your child. Now, that may mean cutting your visit short. You hate to do that, but sometimes you have to do that. It may mean that there's something set up ahead of time where there's a room, like a bedroom at a family member's home, that you and Johnny or you and Susie can go to and just kind of be still, be quiet, away. And maybe that'll last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then they can go back in. It may be that they have to go take a nap, okay, because they're going, and it's a lot of excitement. And so you want to prepare your family for what could happen. Hopefully it won't happen, okay? But the more they are prepared, then everybody can, because this is a family kind of thing, right? So you don't want to have everybody's holiday spoiled by your child having a meltdown or something. So you prepare them for, with Johnny or with Susie, maybe not so much with the hugs right off. Let them kind of warm up to you. So you coach them. Let them warm up to you, or you prepare them. Last week Johnny hasn't had a very good week, or he hadn't had a very good morning. He's kind of crabby, cranky, and so just kind of let him ease into it, and things will be a whole lot better. So you want to coach your family. The next thing is, and you've heard me talk about this throughout this series on the holidays, and that is lower your expectations. Lower your expectations for your special needs child. Take them where they are, not where you expect that they would be. Okay? For instance, if you have an ADHD child, their attention span is going to be like right there. It's going to be real small, right? So you want to take things in small chunks. Any kind of change in schedule, really disrupts them. It really kind of throws them for a loop. And so you want to lower your expectations. Maybe you just want to take a pause and just kind of evaluate things. Lower your expectations. It's not going to be a Norman Rockwell kind of Christmas, right? It's just not going to be. Okay? So what you can do then is lower your expectations. Hopefully things will work out. You want to go into the holidays with good expectations, with positive thoughts. But knowing that something could go awry with your special needs child, because they tend to be unpredictable in their behavior, particularly when they have sensory overload. And so lower your expectations, not only of yourself and your family, but of your special needs child as well. The next tip may sound a little odd, but I would encourage you to plan for an escape. Plan for an escape. Now, what in the world do I mean by plan for escape? Well, let's suppose that Johnny just starts melting down, and it's just not, the day is just not going well. He's more irritable. He's tends to want to pick fights or pick arguments with other siblings or other kids. He just doesn't. He just wants to be left alone. He's just kind of moody today. Well, the plan for an escape is there a room that we can go to? Is there a bedroom we can go to and maybe just kind of lay down, remove them from all of that sensory overload stuff, let them lay down, let them chill out a little bit for about 10-15 minutes, maybe take a quick nap, and then get up, and then they're going to be in a better mood. Okay? So plan escape. Now, it may get to the point where you have to leave the gathering. Okay, Johnny is just so disruptive. He's just gotten out of hand here. The meltdown is more than what any of us can take. It's causing problems for everybody, and so we're just going to back away, and we're just going to make an early day of it. Now, if you plan that ahead of time and you let your extended family know that, here's our plan. Now, the bedrooms, the quiet place is going to be first, but if that doesn't work, then we're going to have to. That way, nobody's feelings gets hurt. You kind of know what's going on. They know what's going on. They can plan for that. And if the retreating into a room doesn't work, then yeah, maybe we need to leave. That way feelings don't get hurt. Okay, and you don't have to do it abruptly. It's better to do it before you get agitated and irritated than to wait until you're about to blow. Your child's has blown. Everybody's getting mad. And the holidays ruin for everybody. And so make a plan now for an escape, just in case you need it. Now, this next tip is this can be said in a variety of contexts, but I think more so when you're dealing with special needs children, and that is get enough sleep. That goes for you as a parent and also for your child. Get enough sleep. Typically during this time of the year, school is out. They're on Christmas break for 2.5, maybe 3 weeks. They're on Christmas break. All the schedules that you had worked toward back in September at the first of the school year now just kind of been blown out of the water, because first you had Thanksgiving and now Christmas is coming, and you're traveling and you're going here, going there. And the tendency is to jam as much into one day as we possibly can. And so by the end of the day, we are just absolutely wiped out. Or we're staying up late, because we don't have the schedule, the school schedule. And so we're staying up late, getting up late. Everything's out of sync with regard to sleep. We look at a benchmark of anywhere between 6 to 9 hours of good restful sleep, and that's for children as well as an adult. 6 to 9 hours of good restful sleep, because see, if you go during the holidays, if you're going, and you're staying up late because this has got to be done and that's got to be done, and we got to do this, we got to plan for this, yada yada. We got this place to go, we got that place to go, and you're going, and you're not sleeping well, then guess what? You're going to be cranky. People around you are going to be cranky because you're cranky. Your special needs child is really going to be cranky because they need their sleep. Sleep is where the brain just kind of recharges. It just rests and recharges. And so get enough sleep. Allow, if you can, stay on that schedule as much as possible. You can loosen it up a little bit, but by and large, stay on it as much as you can, because Christmas break is soon going to be over, right? Well, then, if you're off schedule, then you're going to be working 2 or 3 weeks into the new year trying to get your kid back in sync with sleep. Get enough sleep, and that goes for you as the parent as well. Special needs children take a lot of physical and emotional energy. A lot of physical and emotional energy. And so you have to be up for that. You have to be ready. I mean, they take a lot of attention. And so you have to be physically ready for that. If you're worn down, then it's just going to be a mess for everybody. And so I would encourage you, get as much sleep as you possibly can. The next tip, I've just kind of talked about already a little bit, and that is maintain routines. As much as you can, maintain routines. A getting up time, a going to bed time. We're going to do this and this and this and this. And we're not going to jam everything into 2 or 3 days, but we're going to keep as much routine as we possibly can. I can't tell you how critical this is for special needs children. It is absolutely critical that they stay within routines. If you get them off their routine, then things become unpredictable. All of us like things to be predictable, right? All of us do. But with special needs children, things must be predictable. There has to be a routine. We do this day after day after day. Now, during Christmas break, and leading in the holidays, there's going to be a little bit of difference there. But for the most part, you maintain regular routines, regular times of eating, regular sleep times, watching TV, if you do electronics, that keep all of those routines basically the same. And I think the more you do that, the less there will be of your special needs child having any kind of meltdown. This next one may be kind of hard, this next tip, and that is it's okay for you to decline invitations. I want you to know it's okay to say no to invitations. There are certain things that, you know what, yeah, we've been on the go for the last 5 or 6 days, and family wants us, friends want us, there's things going on at church, there's things going on at school, all these kind of things are going on, and you know what, thanks for the invitation, but we're just going to take a pass. Okay, we're going to take a pass. Johnny is just really worn out. There's been a lot of things going on here. We're just going to say thank you, but no thank you. You don't have to be rude about it. And if the other person gets upset, that's on them. It's okay to say no to certain invitations. Don't try to jam everything into 2 or 3 days during the course of the holiday season. Okay, it's okay to say no. This next tip kind of dovetails right in behind declining invitations, and that is don't overdo it. Man, there's a tendency during the Christmas time, holiday time, to overdo it. We overeat, and we overdo everything, right? We overspend, we overcommit, we overdo a lot of things. So don't overdo it. Maintain as much as you can. Maintain that just right down the middle here, not going too far to the left, not going too far to the right. Just don't overdo it. Because if you're overdoing it, that means probably your special needs child is overdoing it as well. And if they're overdoing it, then they're going to be more susceptible to meltdowns and other kinds of things. Okay? So don't overdo it. And then the last thing I want to share with you is to just seek support. I know that's, it almost sounds redundant and almost sounds cliche, but as a special needs parent, that you can't do this on your own. You just can't. Now, particularly around the holidays, maybe you just need a break. And so if there's a grandma, grandpa, if there's aunts, uncles, maybe even cousins that could you take Johnny for a couple hours? I just need a break. Okay, seek out support. There are people, there are groups out there who even beyond the holiday season, there are support groups out there for parents with special needs children. Plug into that, and you can call your local church. You can call your local psychiatric hospital, and they will give you that information. You can call various civil organizations, community organizations, and they'll plug you in. Listen, don't do this by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. You need support. Just have somebody to lean on. Maybe Johnny has just gotten on, with this holiday season, maybe Johnny's just gotten on your very last, he's just gotten on your last nerve. I mean, you're just about to come apart. You're about to pull your last hair out. You're going to explode. Well, look, don't explode. Just seek out support. That's not a sign of weakness. Actually, it's a sign of strength. Knowing that I can't do this on my own. I need somebody to help me deal with my special needs child, not only during the holiday season, but during the course of the year as well. And so seek out support. Don't try to do this on your own. If you try to do it on your own, you're going to come up short, and this is going to be a lousy holiday season for you. Now, let me kind of wrap up here, because I've given you several tips. I hope that you'll pass these on. That you'll share this if you're watching on Facebook. You can share it. If you're watching on YouTube, you can click on that subscribe button, and that would be great. But share this, even if you don't have a special needs child. Share this podcast with them, because I guarantee you they're going to want to hear some of this. It may be just a refresher. Maybe they already know this, but don't assume that. Okay, the holidays can be filled with excitement, anticipation, and a sense of wonder and joy. We look forward to it. We want to celebrate it. We want to spend time with family. But the holidays can also be filled with anxiety and some apprehension as well, particularly if you have a special needs child. It just takes a little more effort with a special needs child. You know that. It takes a little bit more effort with a special needs child than it does with one who is not a special needs child. And so there's anxiety, there's apprehension, there may be even a little bit of fear, right? Because you don't know what Johnny's going to do. You're afraid because you remember last year, oh my gosh, Johnny did this and Johnny did that, and we had to do this. We ended up, and somebody got mad. And no, look, I realize that there's anxiety with that. I get it. And I realize that there's apprehension. But I think if you'll look at these tips that I've outlined today, I think they're going to help you reduce that anxiety and reduce that apprehension about what could be, what may happen. You'll be more prepared for things. Your family will be more prepared for things. So I think if you follow these tips, I think that you and your child, you and your special needs child, will have even a greater, happier, more joy-filled holiday season. Well, I want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of Lifeline for Daily Living. If something I have said today has raised a question for you, or something you would like to talk to somebody about, there are 3 ways that you can contact me. First way is through my phone. My office phone is 573-732-4575. Again, that's 573-732-4575. The second way you can contact me is through my email. My email address is lifelineonline@hotmail.com. Again, that's lifelineonline@hotmail.com. A third way, if you're watching this on Facebook, or even if you're watching on YouTube, you can private message me. And some people have private messaged me after a podcast and set up an appointment. I'd be glad to do that for you. Maybe you've got a question. You can just private message me and I'll answer your question. Any one of those, I want to help you to have the best holiday season that you can possibly have. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you right here next time on Lifeline for Daily Living.